So Arsenal 1, Manchester City 2, stoppage time, heartbreak at the Emirates for 10-man Arsenal. Great first half, fantastic first half. Got the goal, best football we've played all season. Thomas Partey's best game, and Saka superb, Martinelli superb. Second half, it all capitulated. We beat ourselves. Jez, for anyone who hasn't watched your fan cam, give us a little 90-second breakdown, mate.
Well, yeah, world-class Xhaka at giving away penalties and being sent off. It's a privilege to have you at the club, you complete freak. You once again, great first half performance. As we said the other night, Kenny and I, and we said, all you can ask from football players is to give 101%, and you put your life on the line. And our team today, in the first half, put their lives on the line and worked their sodding nuts out. And they played for the badge today, and it was quite clear that they played with freedom. They were relaxed, doing what they can do, and they showed some absolute pure class. Partey today, different player, absolutely different player, and it was ruined by our seasoned player and seasoned captain Xhaka yet again. And let's get it right, people. It's a stonewall bloody penalty. So stop sitting there wanking yourselves off thinking we've been done by the referee and VAR. Yeah. It was a bloody penalty. You put a hand on a bloke's shirt in the box and handle him like that, pull him, you're going to get a penalty. Simple as. That's the game. And so, forget that. Learn the laws of the game. And, sorry. And that is the way the game goes. Sorry, hard luck. We basically stuffed ourselves up the arse. And Gabriel, you've done it before. Learn, my friend, because you cannot go tight to a player and then turn when he's going to go past you and put him like that. You just or body check him. You can't do it. Learn
on a yellow card.
On a yellow card. And it absolutely, I mean, for people like Kenny that went to the game today and all the other thousands of players went to the day, with a first half performance like that, you've got hope, you've got belief, you're going to win that game, and we should have won that bloody game, but by two stupid errors by our own players. And let's also say, Odegaard, that was not a bloody penalty. Okay? The keeper's gone in, he's got the ball, then he took his foot. Forget it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And listen, people can lord up performances against Norwich. Today, we see a lot of good performances against the best team in the league, which is saying that we should take forward going into the next game against Tottenham in the league. But they won today in stoppage time. If they beat us, and we ain't beaten them for, 7 years at their ground, if they beat us, they're above us with 2 games in hand. Kenny, for anyone who hasn't watched your fan cam, and go and check the fan cams out, people. For anyone who hasn't listened to your fan cam, mate, give us your little breakdown of the game. You was at the game.
It must have been what? I thought it was a fantastic performance in the first half, and I thought the attitude throughout the game was spot on. I thought we got our tactics and the preparation spot on. We knew we were going to spend a lot of time without the ball, but we just made sure that at no time did they have any clear-cut chances, and that they had to work their way in or shoot from distance. And I thought that's fantastic. As again, our second what Jez said, Jez says, very, very pleased with at the time, Partey had a very, very good game. And I thought he was good throughout the piece. Saka was imperious. Martinelli was probably our best player today. But the people saying about if only we had a striker, blah blah. Sort of thought, hang on here, calm down, mate. We did create enough chances, and let's face it, we didn't. It wasn't as if we had clear cut chances. These were actually a half chance which we put away. Gabriel has created something on his own, he's put it away. So when I see people saying we're a centre forward away, I don't understand that. I think we're probably a right back away, because Tomiyasu, as good as he is defensively, doesn't give us much. He didn't give us much today at right back. But in terms of what Jez says, 100% right. Stuart Atwell was looking to make a name for himself, and we fell in the trap. I don't care what anyone says. I was arguing with a lot of people at the match. Jack, the referees are cheating, he cost us, and they're angry. I said, go and watch it again. Who told Jacker to put his leg out?
Yeah.
Who told him to? He panicked, which is understandable because Silva went in on him. But the problem is that with VAR nowadays, right? Even if you get the first bite of cherry your own way, there's a second bite of the cherry. And Man City were at a referee, he went and had a look, he had to give the penalty. I suppose as soon as I saw the replay after he got the penalty, it was blatant. In terms of, I agree with you in terms of Odegaard, regardless of whether attack or not, the fact is, if you've got a goalkeeper who's excellent with his feet, plus, and normally makes clean tackles, you're going to give the goalkeeper a benefit of the doubt because the way Odegaard got in, it was like the way with his studs to try and get a free kick, it could have gone either way. It could have been like a stamp, but it was not a penalty. I didn't think it was, but people say it was. People were phoning me from, who were watching the TV, said it was a penalty. Maybe so. He's still 89 minutes to play, but as he said, Jez, Gabriel just gave the referee a decision to make, and he grabbed it at both ends. The problem is that, as I said before, emotional, like reactions have to leave that to the fans. We can do all that. We can do all the singing. We can scream at the referee. You're paid to concentrate and not get involved in the emotions of the game, and we did, and it cost us. But you know what? Can't take away from the performance, but it's going to count for nothing if we feel sorry for ourselves against Liverpool, and Tottenham, as you say, turn us over because they can't win at the Emirates and we can't win there.
Yeah, fact, absolute fact. West Ham are 2-0 up as well. Tottenham won today in stoppage time. All of a sudden, it's bunched back together again. But let's get into player ratings. Jez, let's go with the goalkeeper. He didn't have a great deal to do at all, really, apart from pick the ball out the net twice.
Stop it. Sorry. Ramsdale, yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. He couldn't do anything about the penalty. He couldn't do anything about the second goal. He looked solid again to me. Again, commanding his box, made some quality saves. I mean, the save he made above that man, I can't think the player was, but the way he got it, I mean, it was a foul on him, but he still grabbed the ball and juggled it in the air and brought it down to safety. So, yeah, he gets a 7.
Kenny, let's go Tomiyasu.
You know what? I thought he had a stern test with Sterling. I just want to talk about the situation is that a lot of people give Sterling an hard time, but I'll tell you one thing, right? If you look at him from legs down, he's a strong boy, mate. He's a strong boy. He's not just quick. He is so hard to knock off the ball, man. He gave Tomiyasu a stern test. It was right close to me, and I thought, Tomiyasu stuck to his task. But I think the one thing about Tomiyasu as well, we love the way he defends. We love the way he's got a defensive brain. But sometimes in attack, maybe we've been spoilt by people like Carl Walker, but spoilt by people like James and Alexander-Arnold. That sometimes we could do a bit more in terms of the side because we're relying a lot too much of our creativity through Saka on the right, where we could have had an overlap to the full back. And relying on 10 on the other side. But for me, I'm going to give him a 6 because you know what, it weren't easy against Sterling. Even though people say Sterling ain't got empire, it tells me, mate, Sterling's trashed his teams and he's back to his best football.
Yeah, 100%, mate. He in that first 15 minutes was brilliant, and like you said, from the legs down or from the hips down, he's strong, man. I didn't realise how strong he was. Tomiyasu's a big lad. Yeah, and he couldn't knock him off the ball.
I'll tell you another one who's strong on the ball is Jesus, and we're going to get to that when one of us gets to Gabriel, because simply, he won't take no nonsense for Gabriel as well.
Let's go to Benjamin White. Jez.
Yeah, oh dear. He started to give me. I started to get some favours out of that boy. I started to think, yeah, okay, but today, no, didn't sell it to me today. Could have done a lot better, to be fair. So I'm 5. Sorry, 5.
Kenny, let's go to Gabriel. Got a second yellow card. Got a first yellow card for doing stupidness. Second yellow card for doing stupidness, and totally lost his head. Really. Other than that, what did you make of him?
You know what? I thought he met his. I think physically, and it's very unlikely, but you know, Man City and the referee were onto him, because if you look at some of the games, we've seen him in, where he tries to hug the ball and defend the ball, and a lot of times he gets free kicks. Atwell weren't having him. Atwell had his number today, and was watching him all along. And I think the reason why he lost his head is because he wasn't getting anything from Atwell. He weren't getting these little free kicks that other referees give him. Have been getting in the last few nights, where he gets in front of the ball, falls over. You know, Hayes was knew it as well, and Hayes was just winning tackles. So the 50-50 decisions, he weren't getting them. I think that contributed to it. But one thing is, he was part of the back four that kept his shape and gave it a situation where Man City couldn't play through us. And you know, let's face it, De Bruyne was ineffective, and he was part of that. But he went to spoil it all by first losing his head over the penalty decision, and then straight afterwards he fell for it. He basically, Atwell was looking to even it up. Atwell was going to give us nothing. Asked me dog away. Atwell was going to give us nothing, right? Oi! Stop it! Atwell gave us nothing today, and Gabriel fell for it like a pork chop. So I'm going to give him a 4 because it's game's costing.
Let's go, Jez. Kieran Tierney set up Saka's goal. What did you make of him today?
Class, quality, shows what he can do. I feel sorry for that lad. I really do. Great pass to Saka. Worked his nuts off. Played for the badge. Gave it the 101%. All game. And you must come out of that thinking, what am I doing playing with this prick in Xhaka? Honestly. And 8, absolutely, all day long.
Let's go to Granit Xhaka, Kenny.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think with Granit,
sorry, Jez.
One thing about Granit is that he is what he is in the tin. But, my phone and the comments on my Instagram are full of people thinking, enough's enough. They've had enough. They're not buying into the fact that it weren't a penalty because they've seen the replays. Initially, when you look at it, it said no, naked eye, real time, not a penalty. But what people like Granit Xhaka need to realise is that the equaliser for players who think they're cute and smart is VAR. You can cry all you like on your fan cams and go, world class league, shit referees. Come on, mate, take the scales out of your eyes, take your hat off and just look at the rules, because the fact of the matter is every angle Xhaka did something wrong. Panicked because someone with quick feet went at him. So if he wasn't holding him, the leg went out. Doesn't matter whether you took it, doesn't matter whether you took it away, too late. Silver's seen that, he's having a nibble. Atwell, so you can slag Atwell off all you like, but Atwell didn't give the penalty. VAR did. The VAR guy is actually the fourth official in this match now at Selhurst Park. But one thing about Xhaka, an experienced player should never give a referee an excuse to, all VAR an excuse to make a decision against their favour. Yes, Man City got most of the decisions. The referee gave them the benefit of the doubt, but we were playing well. You went and done that. So, you have to be punished. I don't care whether people think it's a kill Xhaka. It's not. You make a mistake, you get called that. But the reason why people are saying kill Xhaka, in terms of not as a person, but kill him in terms of criticism, is that it's just what he did in it's worse than what he did in August, because August we lost. That was a thrashing, but this is a game we should have won. So he's contributing. So for me, he's getting a 4 as well because of his contribution. I thought the performance weren't great, but how you both of those two affected the game, so they're not going to get high marks.
I think you're generous, mate. I really do. I really do think you're generous. I'll be honest with you, buddy. If I'd have been given his player rating, I'd have absolutely shot him.
I think that's why you were. I think Lee was afraid you were giving him something like 0 or something.
I would have given him a no. I would have done. I would have done. I can't stand the bloke. Every time we come to an important game, the guy shoots us in the foot. He's done it, you know, like when we had against Brighton. You know, how many times are we going to let this absolute fraud let us do this to us? And we keep keeping him in the team. Come on, sell this absolute.
I'm not condoning what the fans did, but I think what's happened is that if you look at the first time he lost, when he actually lost the captaincy, what it was is that, you know, he got the criticism in sort of Unai Emery's last season. You know, games at Sheffield United, Bournemouth, you know, Aston Villa, and then obviously the fatal game at Crystal Palace, because in our memory banks, something like that. And the thing is, like now, is that he's getting in that situation there. In our memory backs is we played the best team in the country, the champions, and we were winning there, and we were winning. We looked pretty comfortable, and they weren't hurting us, and he gone and done that. So he's just given his, you know, his detractors ammunition, because it was a foul. You know,
all day long.
Yeah. So it was a foolish thing to do, and you know, and it's not as if he's like an 18-year-old kid, you know, desperate to impress his mates. He's a seasoned international.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's captain for his country as well, and it's multiple times. He two-footed Rodri up at the Etihad a couple of months back. Like, let's be real, this guy is just a liability. You know, like Joe said, when it comes to important football matches for this football club, that guy will always let you down. Yeah, always let you down. Yeah, because he can't deal with pressure, and he can cry as much as he wants about abuse online and stuff like that. And some of the abuse he got was disgusting. Yeah, at the same time, you have to go and find a lot of this abuse by looking for it. I know that firsthand. Yeah. Yeah, if you set your filters to certain filters, you ain't seeing it, mate, unless you go looking for it. Yeah, so I'm not condoning it, but at the same time, that's not an excuse for him playing poorly consistently. And this guy seems to always be in our team every single week. Yeah. He is in our team under 3 different managers. Anyway, before we go on a mad one about him, let's go to Thomas Partey. Best game for Arsenal for me.
Absolutely. You know, what happened? He played with freedom. He played with finesse. He bullied players. Awesome to me, and he's getting a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, he was unplayable at times today, mate. The way he was flicking the ball up, it was like watching Vieira at times, and that's not even taking the mick. He was like watching Vieira at times. He was so good, and it was like, you look at that midfield that they had and compare it to ours, it's like, oh, we're in for a big, hard, tough day today, and he bossed it. Yeah, he absolutely bossed it. So fair play to him, man. Just goes to show when he's not being micromanaged from the bench, he can actually play. Kenny, let's go to Bukayo Saka. Scored in a massive game today. I thought he was a menace for most of that game up against Nathan Ake. What did you make of him?
You know, I thought Bukayo Saka, it's one of those things where, you know, he's doing quite a lot of his own, because he's not really getting the kind of like overlaps from Tomiyasu, because he's probably like a centre half playing at right back, but you know, he stretched Man City. He scored a very, very well taken goal. He's playing good football, and you know, and I suppose as much as there's a case for him to be dropped and for Pepe to come in, he's now stepped up the plate. It's very difficult to get Pepe in the team, because you know he's playing with a kind of freedom that he was playing last season. In fact, he's looks a bit sharper. You know, now he's got the cobwebs from Euro 2020, and you know having to start the season because of maybe injuries, or because of the fact that you know we rely on him so much. So it was a really good performance. I'm going to give him an 8 a day.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I thought it was quality. Sorry, Jez, the other side, Gabriel Martinelli nearly scored probably what would have been goal of the season if it had gone in. He also missed an absolute sitter as well to put us 2-1 up. But from the get-go, I think he set the tempo. What did you make of him?
Yeah, quality, man. He's, you know, what has it taken for Arteta to... I know Arteta wasn't there today, but what has it taken to suddenly realise the quality of this young man? It's just beyond belief. And again, great performance. Okay, finishing wasn't bang on. That will come. This kid is going to be brilliant. We all know that. And I'm not going to give him any disservice for missing that open goal. It happens. We've seen it from the world's greatest. It happens. If it's not your day, it's not your bloody day. We can harp on about it. Henry's done it. One of our probably the greatest striker we've ever had at Arsenal. And so, yeah, I'm not going to slag him. And I'm going to give the boy a 7.
Yeah, I thought he was class. Let's go on to Gibraltar guard. Sorry, Norwich guard. Norwich guard, Kenny.
You know what? I think today, I think I get you got to give him some credit for trying, because I suppose I think maybe one of the probably if you look at it, it's only after the event, because he has been playing well and he is worth his place aside. But I suppose when you've got a situation when Man City are going to be having more than football, there's going to be very little things for him, not much for him to do, like in an offensive part of the game. But when he did have much something to do, it was quite good. But maybe Smith Rowe probably would have given us more physicality. And I think the second half he faded, and it was the right substitution to get Emil on, because we did need Emil's sign of youth. I don't mean energy, but in order to see if we can sort of keep that shape, because I thought Odegaard's looking a bit tired. You know what I mean? But today, did too badly. Was part of our good play after 20 minutes. So I'm going to give him like a 6, because it wasn't his game today. His job was to cover those distances. Collectively a part of the team. It wasn't to sort of be on the ball, because Man City weren't going to have that. They dominated possession. Let's face it, and we the scraps that we got. We were very effective and very dangerous, and we scared the life out of them. But it was always about how energetic we were off the ball.
100%. Jez, Lacazette, kind of quiet game for him today.
Yeah. Yeah. Tried hard, didn't get any end result. Frustrates me, Lacazette. He's got some class. We all know that, but his end result at times is so poor. And bang average 6 for me.
Let's go on to the subs. Let's go to Emil Smith Rowe, Kenny.
I thought Emil Smith Rowe, his remit, like I said, it was one of those sort of performances where it was required to do a specific job, i.e. get a builder, and you say, like, you know what, I need to build a wall, nothing else but build a wall. And I think what Emil needed to do when he came on was just to, especially when it's just run, keep his shape, support us when we don't have the ball. There wasn't, and it was a situation where we didn't really require Emil to kind of be effective. It was a shot, but if we were on a counter attack, he would have been our most potent player. But today, he kept his shape, and I've got to give him a 5 for that, because at the end of the day, the requirements of the day was to, make sure, especially with 10 men, that they weren't going to like I said, get that spare man, and we nearly succeeded, albeit for the injury time winner for Rodri.
Yep. Let's go to that injury time winner, Rob Holding, Jez.
Why? Oh dear. Sorry, mate, Mr. Holding. If you're going to head a ball, head it out the damn box. It's not that hard. Surely you have learned that's the way a central defender or any defender does that. You're a big bloke. Knock it out the bloody box. Don't nod it down to the Man City player's foot that he can then slot it and score up to his teammate. Shocking. Sorry, mate, you're getting a 4.
Very rash when he came on as well. Got booked in instantly as he came on. I was like, oh god, here we go again. Let's go to the last sub, Mohamed El Neni.
Yeah, that guy again. You know what I'm talking about. That guy again, you know, the one who won at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You know the kind of it. How to say it? The commentary by Martin Tyler. Yeah, it's him again. You know what I'm talking about. I don't think the panel know what I'm talking. The chat knows what I'm talking about, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Just shows, isn't it? Anyway, in terms of like El Neni, signal no intent. We were happy to get a point. He did his best because he did was a bit of a nuisance, and he did stop with his counter attacks because when they got the 97th minute goal, you notice that I don't know if it looked different on TV, but it looked like they were thinking, you know what, let's get a third because they're arguing a lot, and he managed to sort of stamp out some of the counter attacks. So I'll give him a 4. I'm going to give him a 5 as well, just for trying to hold his shape, because again he was required to build that wall, and he did try to build a wall, but all to no avail because of we just couldn't hold that in every time.
Well, it's the time of the show where we do the manager rating, but obviously our manager wasn't there, so are we rating AirPod Albert instead?
Well, you have to, because he does the team unless Arteta wasn't talking through Zoom in a dressing room, or he wasn't in because there's no way he was going to do a Mourinho get a laundry basket, because that's against the law now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. So, like, Wax Online said to me that the young lad who now has the AirPods, because you noticed AirPod Albert didn't have them in, he gave them to his son, who was sat on the bench. Mad young, big up to that lad, man. He's doing well for himself, like a coach or whatever it is at Arsenal. I don't even know who the guy is, to be fair, but listen, you're in your mid-20s and you're on an Arsenal bench for a game like that.
Brief Bosch, when he went to Chelsea, he was only about, was he 26 when he came over with Mourinho?
Yeah, it's mad, mate. Listen, fair play to these people. But he was the one doing the AirPods, and somebody's posted, I'm not on Twitter, but Wax Online told me this, that there's a picture or a video doing the rounds where clearly he's got the AirPods in and Arteta's in the earpiece, right? Yeah. And it's like, because Arteta's roasting him down the phone. I was like, wow, man. But yeah, let's give AirPod Albert some credit. First half was the best we've played all season. And up until that penalty, we didn't look in trouble at all, mate. And then after that, it was capitulation. And listen, it is what it is. As soon as you get a red card against Man City, you know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. And let's do a 3-2-1, and then we'll give the score for AirPod. 3, 2, 1.
8.
What'd you say, Jez?
So I said 7.
Oh, okay. We were kind of all close then. Yeah, 8-8-7. Yeah, that's fair, I think. Fair. I think that was a good performance. Very disappointing. I think that's the word of the day, isn't it? Disappointing. Like, it was disappointing. We had it in our hands. We could have closed the gap on everybody, brought them right back into a title race.
Yeah.
And we could have potentially been in a title race. Now, we're 18 points behind with a game in hand. We could have been 15 behind with a game in hand, albeit we wouldn't be in a title race, but we'd be a lot closer to Chelsea and a lot closer to Liverpool than we are now.
Well, the game goes ahead, didn't it? Like, there's 3 players. Klopp and a few members of his staff are, have got. Well, Klopp's got a suspicious test, which means it's inconclusive, and the others have got positives. But it's one of those things where like it's become as kind of it's a 6 pointer for second, isn't it? But if Liverpool or Chelsea dropped points and if we won the game, we could have put them under pressure. I don't think we would have finished above them because they got too much quality. But African Cup of Nations is going to be affecting. Well, it's going to affect us with Partey, isn't it? Really, and then Pepe, obviously for squad purposes, is going to affect us. So, and who else? Oh well, and then Egypt. Who else is there?
Already out in Dubai with the goal.
But in terms of like Partey, especially with the performances we're seeing, since we've gone on the run, he has been playing good football. So for him to go to his represent his country, which is an honour, and the tournament deserves some respect, it's going to be a miss, but it's an opportunity for Albert. You know what I mean? It's definitely an opportunity for Albert. or maybe opportunity for Azermet and Nice. That's if he don't go to Rome. But if I was, as a Arsenal fan, like Maitland Nice stay, but as a football person,
Yeah, get
Azermet
out.
Nice would be an absolute pork chop if he stayed with us. Seriously, especially if he doesn't get an opportunity, because he's got opportunity to work in Italy, Serie A, play in a different league, play against world-class players.
With one of the greatest managers of all time as well.
Although Roma are struggling a bit though.
West Ham are 3-0 up at half time, and Tottenham obviously won. So yeah, it's all bunched together. Man U have got a couple of games as well. It's all mad. It's going to go right down to the wire. Listen, thanks both of you for mad support on this channel. Appreciate you all coming on. Both of you coming on. Big up to everybody in the chat. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you, Jez. Happy New Year to you, Kenny. And,
Happy New Year to you as well, Lee.
Yeah, Happy New Year, boys.
Yeah, we're out of here. Arteta out. AirPod Albert in.
Yeah.